My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
Let's talk about George Costanza. I wanted to do a Seinfeld video for a while because it's one of my favorite TV shows, and I think this video deserves one, which this won't be the only Seinfeld video I do. I am planning to make more in the future. Perfect timing since Seinfeld came out on Netflix, since Hulu no longer put the show on there, and the show will be on Comedy Central, which it could have been on other channels since the show was always on syndication. But anyways, for the video, I'm going to talk about George Costanza and being my favorite character in the show. George is one of the 4 main characters on Seinfeld. He has been a best friend with Jerry since high school. He is stingy, conniving, pedantic, and jealous of others' achievements. He is depicted as a loser who is purposely lacking confidence about his capabilities. He rants and lies easily about his profession, relationships, and almost everything else, which usually creates trouble for him later. Despite these shortcomings, George is very reliable to his friends. He secures a steady career as assistant to the traveling secretary for the New York Yankees, which this scene right here has to be one of the quotable lines from George is when he gets the job.
Well, I wish I could say the same, but I must say, with all due respect, I find it very hard to see the logic behind some of the moves you have made with this fine organization. In the past 20 years, you have caused myself and the city of New York a good deal of distress, as we have watched you take our beloved Yankees and reduce them to a laughingstock, all for the glorification of your massive ego.
Hire this man.
George Costanza has a neurotic personality. He has a questionable integrity. I can go on and on about George Costanza's character. Portraying as Jason Alexander, it was worthy to do a role for him. If you want to know about him discussing about George Costanza, watch this video. It's 8 minutes, so you get it right away. Now I'm going to talk about what do I love about George. Well, the guy is charming. I know the neurotic personality, which is the best way to have a personality, unlike some characters with zero personality. George was more emotionally beaten and unstable of the characters, if you know what I mean. George Costanza had a job, but then he's out of a job. I can see why George losing jobs. Now George living with his parents is pure genius. You see, George is having troubles when he dates women until he meets Susan. George and Susan seem to get along, and in season 7, George is about to engage with her. But then Susan died from licking cheap, toxic wedding invitation envelopes. Well, George won't have a fiance, but no worries, George has friends, which that's what the show has a great bonding between the 4. George and Jerry are great friends. They talk about their life, their plan for a show, and so forth. Plus, not only George's character was the strongest writing in the show, but the scenes for him are so funny. In seasons 1 and 2, there wasn't any big funny moments, so George was pretty standard. But seasons 3 up until the last, George was so funny. I don't know how many times I laughed at him or his delivery. Plus, the episodes with him are simply one of the best. I would love to talk about some of my favorite episodes of Seinfeld in a future video. I have to admit, when I was in high school, I had to watch almost all the episodes of the show, and most of them were funny. The Frogger episode is a great example. As you know, I am a sucker for video game related, but that bit where George carries the Frogger arcade on the street and he's bypassing the cars while the camera has a top-down view with Frogger noises, that is really funny. Plus, his arcade runs over by a truck. That's also pretty funny. So yeah, George Costanza is one of my favorite characters. Though I originally wanted not only George being my favorite character in the show, but he was the most relatable character. And while he is relatable, yes, I didn't want to include it to anyone that haven't seen the show, which, yeah, this is my first time talking about Seinfeld on the channel. George Costanza is my favorite character in the show. Now, another character I also like, besides Costanza, is Kramer, which pretty soon we'll talk about Kramer soon. Now, where does George Costanza rank with some of my favorite characters? In terms of male characters in media, he's definitely up there. For TV shows, I gotta put him in my top 5. Funny enough, he beats Dwight from The Office, another favorite character I like. Still, I like his personality, I like his writing, I like his character, and especially the humor from him. All thanks to Jason Alexander for that role of the character. That is all for the video, and there will be more character type videos and even Seinfeld videos in the future. Next video is going to be another TV show related, but let's see what's up next. See you guys soon.